Hi folks, this is your MWIS Fleeting View in association with Petzl. Heading into the weekend, we'll have some varied air temperatures, but the terrain will stay substantially frozen and snow-covered across the Scottish mountains, with snow too on the high tops in England and Wales. Some dampness, some rain, some drizzle and low cloud feeding in from the west as winds strengthen, especially on Saturday, reaching gale force over the Scottish tops. Before that, on Friday, we'll have light winds across most areas with a slack pressure pattern and a decaying front just draped over the country. That will bring some dampness, some overnight rain and snow over the hills fizzling out early in the day. Low cloud will take a while to lift and break, and some places will stay rather cloudy and dull right the way through, but some improvements developing, particularly in more western regions. On Saturday, we have a strengthening south to southwesterly, increasingly windy, reaching gale force across higher Scottish mountains, particularly in western regions, over 40 or 50 miles per hour for a good part of the day near the west coast. A rather damp atmosphere too coming in, with some milder air off the Atlantic, low cloud shrouding western coastal areas to quite low elevations, some drizzle, some rain, and as that pushes further inland into a colder air mass, then we'll see some freezing rain on some slopes, maybe an odd snow flurry in the mix just locally. Temperatures will vary quite considerably in the Highlands, with a few slopes on south-facing aspects staying sub-zero to around mid-slopes, whereas corresponding heights further north could well see some local air temperatures in excess of 5 Celsius, so quite a variation from place to place. Generally, northeastern spots will fare best for highest of cloud breaks. England and Wales substantially dry, but that cloud will cover the west coastal areas fairly extensively, with some brightness again further east and northeast. It's possible that a few of the higher slopes in England and Wales at least may just be above the level of the cloud and the fog banks, which will cover lower and middle elevations, so a chance to poke out above an inversion locally. If we roll the story on into Saturday evening and night, that front which exists out toward the west of the Highlands will make further progress in from the Atlantic, and it will turn wetter across most areas through the night, with temperatures generally above freezing to the highest tops widely across Scotland, so a spell of thawing with that rain as well through this time. On the back edge of that frontal system, we'll see the freezing level just drop though, so by Sunday daytime we're back to between around 900, 1100 metres or so through the day on Sunday. So the back edge of that system just returning to some snow flurries likely over the higher slopes before fading out increasingly through Sunday morning as that front just weakens. So a brightening up picture, a drying up story for many on Sunday, and temperatures back sub-zero, so watch out for ice across higher slopes. The wind easing as well for a time, for a good few hours, a lull across many regions before strengthening again as an Atlantic system approaches late in the day. That will bring gales as we go onwards into Sunday night and Monday, with some further rainfall across western mountains as temperatures once more lift above freezing. So another spell of thawing through into Monday, and gales and wet weather will persist, particularly across Scotland. The ongoing story into midweek is that we get some chillier air returning behind the front that pushes through from Monday into Tuesday. So a spell of wet weather and milder conditions for a while, but dropping sub-zero through Tuesday across most Scottish mountains above around 900 metres or so. Some further snow flurries developing from the west. Staying rather blustery across the mountains through this time, but the wind easing from the south into Wednesday as high pressure starts to expand its way northwards, quieter conditions developing for many. Hanging on to a southwesterly wind though towards the west and northwestern coast of Scotland, so here some low cloud and some dampness or snow flurries are possible. Some areas of low cloud and fog over England and Wales, with a chance for some higher mountains again being above an inversion as the high builds over the country. That centre of high pressure seems to focus away a bit further towards Scandinavia later next week. A degree of uncertainty on the position of this at this stage. It will likely allow some chillier air to come in from the continent, so we'll keep temperatures near or even just below freezing most likely over the mountains for a few days later in the week. So terrain frozen again across much higher ground, but substantially a dry story. The wind strength is uncertain depending on how quickly any further Atlantic systems make some inroads, which does look likely later in the week, and that might introduce some further snow or some rain on some coastal slopes. Varying conditions then throughout the week ahead. Keep right up to date with all your local details on our website. That is your Fleeting View in association with Petzl.